Greetings everyone. Today's project on the house is to get the French drain installed. We get a fair amount of snow, and I'm worried when that snow slides off and it's sitting on the ground, that's just going to be saturating the dirt right there, and was looking for a way to feed that out and around the house. I already have the trenches dug from when we had to do the foundation, so I figured a little bit of gravel, some of the drain pipe, and we'll get that in before we backfill everything, and it'll be much easier. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with a thin layer of gravel at the bottom just to level things out before I put the silt screening or silt fabric, whatever you want to call it, down. So let's get that little layer just to level everything out. Let's get that put in. You can see I'm not really going crazy with the stone. I'm just trying to fill in some of the imperfections of the concrete. The more stone you actually put under your pipe, that the water then has to rise that much more before it actually starts going into the drain pipe. Here is the product that I purchased to put down in the trench. It says soil separator, trench wrap fabric for drainage applications. It's 36 inches wide and 150 feet long. And then it kind of shows a little photo of how it's going to end up. So I'm going to check. I may not need to wrap this all the way around, because looking at their diagram, they're just laying it on top after they put in the pipe and the rock. So let me do some research on that. I'll be right back. I looked up the assembly instructions for the soil separator mat, and it does say to put it down before you put in your pipe, add gravel, and then fold it over the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I went with the smooth lined triple wall perforated pipe. So it has holes at, I guess that would be what, 90 degrees of each other. And the proper way to lay this in the trench is like that, with the holes towards the bottom. A lot of people make the mistake of putting it this way and having the holes up, but what that causes, your trench has to fill up with water all the way up to there before it starts going in to drain out the pipe, where if they're down, it only has to fill up very little, maybe a half inch at the most, and then it'll start running down this section of the pipe. So I got the fabric kind of wrapped up over the pipe. That'll give me enough to hold it up while I start backfilling some of the gravel. I threw a couple of piles of gravel against the pipe, so it would hold it tight to the house and hold the fabric down. So let me get some more gravel and we'll start backfilling this. So what I'm finding is this 3-foot wide soil separator is definitely not wide enough for the amount of gravel that I want to put in. So I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing here, and then I will cut another piece and overlap the top that's going to fold down and the bottom that will fold up. Once I get the amount of rock in that I think is good for the drainage. So I ran into a little problem here. I thought these were supposed to be the S&D or sewer and drain, I think, or what, not sewer and drain, the drain pipe connections, but these are obviously Schedule 40 because the drain pipe doesn't fit. So what I tried was cut another piece real short just to stick it in there. I mean, it doesn't matter that this is open, it's perforated pipe, so water can go in and out of there all at once. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting a little sleeve piece, the depth of this, and it really, I mean, it actually holds the pipe better than the regular fittings. So little improvise there to make these work, because these are actually, let's see if it says what it actually is. This is, oh, these are drain waste vents, DWV. That's why it's bigger. There we go. Now we're going in there. All right, there we go. A lot of work. That one's in. Let's cut a riser to come up and get out of the trench. So I got a couple of lengths of the solid pipe for the risers. I figured I don't need those perf holes going up, because otherwise I'd have to sleeve that to keep the dirt from going in all those holes and filling it up. So looks like 2 feet will get me up out of the trench. So let me cut that off. All right, there we go. Finished product. Let's move on to the next one. All right, there's another one. 2 more to go. I forgot to mention that after finishing the front side, we kind of changed techniques on the silt screen. It was just too much of a pain to try to keep that straight, put rock in there, and then throw it back over. So we did the wrap method on the pipe with the perfs, with the real lightweight screen, just to keep anything that may work its way into the gravel out. We'll put more gravel over the top, and then I got a heavier screen, or a thicker, stronger screen to put over all the gravel before we put in the dirt. And you'll see what that looks like later. There's number 3. Let's move on to the last one. And there's the last one. Let's start putting gravel in these trenches.